In this lecture, Professor A.K. Enamel Hack explains why in a market price control regulation often fails.
Okay. So this is the equilibrium. Remember, this is the price, this is the quantity, this is the demand and supply, this is the equilibrium. Now what happens? Let's take as an example. So let's assume for a moment that demand is shifting. More people are coming to the city. As more people enters into the city, housing demand goes up. So what will happen if the housing demand goes up? Rent will go up. So if you look into the market, you will find out that because housing demand has gone up, the rent has gone up. And that's happening in urban areas, very common. So as more people are urbanized, what will happen? And if there is no investment in the housing sector, you expect the house rent to go up. Obviously, we accommodate more people. So that's happening. Okay. How do we accommodate more people? We split our house. Remember, there are many strategies that we do. On the other hand, there is also, because of this, we have also an investment. And investment has given us a supply in. So let's say our housing sector is also shifting because they're making more houses. So take an example that this is the scenario. So our housing price has gone up, but obviously these are two scenarios. Scenario one is that we did not do anything. So it's because there is no more increase in the housing, people who primarily who did not give rent before, they decide to give a rent. So that's how they move from point A to point B. This is like new. Once you started finding out that, okay, house rent has gone up, somebody said, look, I will sublet my room, right? A house that I did not rent before, now I'm ready to rent. So that's how it has shifted. But at the same time, the housing market decided to supply more houses. So the price has come down to C. So scenario could be that we are at A with investment in housing sector and with the growth in the urban economy, we'll move to C. And if there is no investment in housing sector, we'll go to C, AB. Is that clear? So I will either move from A to B or A to C. So A to B is possible with no investment, but new space available. How is new space available? Because previously I was not ready to sublet, but now the rent is up. So I said, okay, I'm ready to, some people will do it. So there will be more accommodation. Or some space previously I was not doing anything. I said, now it's ready to, I can rent it out. So that is happening here because there is no investment. So remember, without investment, I'm not shifting supply function. Now I'm investing, and because of investment, my supply function has shifted. And as a result of shifting, the rent has gone up from P0 to P2 instead of P1. But in both cases, it has gone up. But the government said, no, the rent cannot go up above this. So this is a standard textbook example of price ceiling. In other words, many urban area government decided that I'm not going to do this. What will happen if you have price ceiling? The demand has gone up further. So you will, instead of now moving to C or B, the demand has moved to point D. And what does D means? D means there is a crisis now. Why? Because even if I'm investing, this much will be the supply. So supply will be here. So there is a possibility that if there is an investment, I will supply up to this point. But whatever happens, this will be the crisis with investment, and this will be the crisis without investment. So we have a crisis continued because of price ceiling. So remember, price ceiling often create a crisis, and economic theory always said that do not tamper with the price, because price is like a heartbeat. It gives you a signaling mechanism. It's what Adam Smith mentioned about invisible market. They said price is actually a signaling mechanism. It tells you what is happening in the market. Don't blame prices going up, because this is what is happening. So this is still a price ceiling example. Let me go to my example. I wanted to give a price floor example. So my objective is, so this is exactly the same as the garments industry, which is a textbook example that how price ceiling changes. But what I mentioned in the last example is the power sector in Bangladesh, to give you a Bangladeshi flavor of it, exactly same. So in other words, in this case, what we're saying that under this scenario, the market will stay in crisis. So price ceiling will give you a crisis.
Please subscribe to this channel to receive updates on new videos.